It is the end of winter right now and I really wanted to do something in our garden. So today I'm just making some quick preparations before spring is here. So while my cats stay cozy inside, I decided to go out into the garden at 3 degrees Celsius. And let me tell you, I'm so sick of winter right now. I really want it to be spring again because then I can actually garden. So I grabbed my shoes and my coat, and of course my chickens were already waiting in the doorway for me. I've let the chickens roam the garden all winter, so the grass is definitely gone. But that's fine with me because I like the process of actually sowing grass, so I'm going to do that soon as well. I'm going to be cleaning up the bunny and chicken coop. And this was really needed because it has been raining for a few days now, so everything is just wet and soggy. I apparently also forgot to gather the eggs for a few days. Please don't judge me, we've all done it. First up, I'll be cleaning our rabbit coop. And while I'm doing that, let me just tell you a little bit about what's been going on lately. As most of you know, I live with my boyfriend and we are both students. Max and I both studied in animal health care and management. I am now a certified cat and dog breeder and Max is going on to become a teacher. He's going to be graduating this year and getting his license to teach. So that means that at the second half of this year we are going to start working. And that means that wherever Max is going to be working, we are going to move there. So that's pretty exciting. The people who know me personally know that I really want to be a housewife. But of course this is easier said than done. We live in the Netherlands and it's really hard living off of one income here alone. That means that I would also need a few income streams once I'm done studying too. Luckily I do have some ideas, but I'm not going to get into that right now. We're also just gonna have to see how things play out for the rest of this year. Personally, the idea of just being home and eventually with our kids and growing everything you need at home is really appealing to me. I love the outdoors and I grew up with people who had their own vegetable gardens and I always wanted to learn how to do that myself. Like I said, I'm also now a certified cat and dog breeder, so we are looking into dogs. We do have a few breeds in mind, but I'm not going to spoil it because I might still change my mind. And the reason why we are moving closer to wherever Max is working is just because he's going to have the highest income. So his job is going to be the priority for us. But this will probably take place around summertime, so I still have a lot of time to do whatever I want in the garden. Our goals for this year is first of all to grow as much food as possible, because we could definitely grow a lot of vegetables in this garden. And also I really want to get into preserving and start our own little pantry. This way we can really start to store and preserve some of our homegrown vegetables. We can't really expand on animals in this house right now because we are running out of room. We do have 4 cats already. But also we just don't know where we're going to end up in our next house. So that is on hold right now. One animal we are going to buy this year is a dog. But other than a dog, we are not going to expand on farm animals just yet. Like I said, inside we have 4 cats already. We have 3 males, 2 of them are brothers, and 1 we bought about a year ago. And we have a female, and the female and 1 of the boys are almost 1 year old now. We have the male chemically castrated right now, just to make sure that they're big enough to actually have kittens. But I am planning on having a little litter of kittens this year with them. This will probably be around summertime as well, but of course we are going to first see what their stress levels are after moving. And of course we are going to look for a house where we can take our chickens with us and our rabbits. Our rabbit is called Remy. He's almost 7 years now already. Remy has survived 4 wives already. We are thinking about getting another female, but as we'll be moving we don't know if we'll have the room. Because we do still want them to be able to roam the garden, and if we don't have that much room then they're gonna eat the grass very quickly. So we are not going to decide that right now, we are going to decide once we've moved. We are going to be looking for a house with at least 3 bedrooms because Max wants a office, of course. And we want to be planning ahead a little bit for later because we might want kids in the next 5 years, we don't know yet. And also just having a house that you can grow into is a little bit nicer, I guess, than a house that is full quite quickly. And of course we're gonna want a garden because I'm not giving up gardening. Eventually we do want to have our own homestead and for me to be home, so we can't really do that without a garden. Right here I noticed that the food tray for the chickens was completely empty. And I'm really pleased with this kind of food tray because it has reduced the amount of waste we have on food. I bought it on Temu, so it's not gonna last probably that long. But for now it's pretty good. I think once it becomes really rusty, I'm going to buy this one again. Or at least something like this. I think around the end of February it will be warm enough here to start gardening again. I already have a ton of plants just lined up in my hallway. So I'm ready once it's warm enough, of course. I am going to be doing way more than I did last year, so you can also expect way more videos on this from me. I already have like 50 videos lined up. I have so many plans for this year, it's not even funny. I really want to grow out this channel this year, and I think the way that's best for that is just by posting more often. I'm already thinking about my next video. I'm going to be setting up a shrimp breeding aquarium. I have been breeding shrimp for about a year now, but the aquarium can really use an upgrade. This is also one of my ideas for having a little bit of income from home. I'm also planning on building another aquarium pretty soon, but I think that's going to be in about March, April. And of course, once we get our dog, you are going to see a lot of content on that. And think harvesting videos. I want to include you guys when we are moving. And just overall homesteading stuff. I also really want to try making my videos a little bit longer than usual, because most of the times they're around 5 minutes. And I personally think that longer videos are just nicer to watch in general. So please let me know what you guys prefer, because then I can alter my videos to your liking. This video is kind of like my first attempt on this. This video is around, I think, 10 minutes long. And by longer videos, I don't mean that I'm going to be making videos around like 50 minutes. Because I don't really think I have enough content to even do that. Maybe once we've moved I do, it depends on where we end up, of course. Or maybe once we've actually bought our dog, then maybe I can make a little bit longer format videos on our puppy. Here you can see that I'm going to start on the lower part of our chicken coop, and this is a hell to clean. Also, I'm the only one who's able to clean it because I'm the only one who can fit through the little doorway. Max is currently busy drawing out a little design for a new chicken coop, and he will be building it himself. This way it will be easier to clean for the both of us, and also we want a little bit more room inside because we would like to have a little more chickens. Currently we have 3 chickens, and like I said, they're almost 3 years old now. I think that will be in May, maybe? So I think they are going to start laying a little less this year. We are not going to do anything with our current chickens because we've grown really attached to them. They were our first chickens ever. But we are planning on butchering chickens in the future. So our next chickens are probably going to be hybrid breeds, so that they lay a lot of eggs as well as they grow a lot of meat. This way we can butcher them when they're about 2 years old, when they start laying a little less. We also don't have a rooster currently, and I really want one. But of course this is going to depend on where we end up moving, because I don't want our neighbors to have to deal with our rooster. Of course we like the sound it makes, but not everybody likes it, so we're gonna have to see. But if we do end up getting a house with a bigger garden and like away from the people a little bit, then we are going to get a rooster. But like I said, we're just gonna have to wait and see. We do want a house that's a little bit more on biking distance for Max's work. So the house is probably going to be in a normal neighborhood, and that's fine with me because I also kind of miss being around people a little more. The house that we currently live in is on a horse breeding farm / stables, which is pretty fun because we just look out the window and see like 50 horses every day. But for me on bike it takes me around 3/4 of an hour to even get to the local grocery store. And for the closest pet store it's around a 2-hour bike ride, which I'm not very fond of. So every time we need something for our animals, I have to wait for Max to get home so we can go by car. And Max works very long hours every single day, so I really don't want to ask him too much. So it would be great if I could just hop on my bike and be like at a pet store in like 10 minutes. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on lately. I noticed that I'm kind of rambling, but also I don't really have a lot of commentary on what I'm doing. It's just very easy. I just hate that the garden looks so ugly right now because there's no grass, and that's my own fault because I let the chickens roam all winter. And that's gonna be like this for about like a month or two because it has to be warm enough for grass to grow again. And also once I seed it, it's not gonna be green already, of course. Sadly, once I'm busy with the grass, the chickens and Remy won't be able to roam the garden because they will eat all the seeds. So they are going to have to be cooped up for about 3 to 4 weeks. But they are going to be fine because we did that last year too, and I just got out a bunch of things for them to do. For instance, I got them a lot of wood chips last year, and they just love like digging around in it and finding little bugs and stuff. Also, when it's warm enough for grass to grow, there's gonna be a lot of weeds in the garden too, so I just pluck out all the weeds and throw them in with the chickens. That way they just get a lot of greens in their diet still, and of course they still get most of our leftovers. This is what our garden bed is looking like right now. It is completely empty, apart from a little feeding tray I had out for the chickens and a few sticks and stones here and there. The only thing we have growing at the moment is our garlic. This is Max's project. He follows a tutorial from a certain YouTuber he follows. And right now we are growing 2 types of garlic. It's a bigger type and the normal grocery store type. In our hallway we are growing stuff as well already. In these 2 containers it's red onions. And over to the right we have more pots as well. The back row, it's a certain purple kind of kale. Next to those we have 2 pots of chives because I really like chives in my food. And I'm also already starting with my peppers. I have bell peppers and cayenne. These 2 are pumpkins. And I have some beans growing as well as rosemary. So once every plant is big enough and it's also warm enough outside, I am going to place those into our garden bed. But for right now we're just gonna have to wait for that time. So all I can do now is just water what I have in my hallway and wait for the right moment. And with that being said, I'm going to end off this video here. Hopefully you did like this video of mine, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. Both of those things really help out my channel, and like I said, I'm really keen on growing out this channel this year. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye!